Okay, picture this. Just endless road, maybe tall pines, maybe huge rock faces all around you, and then suddenly you realize, hey, my phone has 0 bars. From Minnesota's North Shore, way up through Canada, deep into Alaska, it's absolutely a writer's dream.
It is, definitely, but it's a dream that really demands respect. And planning, lots of planning. The sources we looked at are clear. Stunning routes, yeah, but the environment, it throws challenges at you that, you just don't find down south.
For sure. We're not talking a quick weekend trip here. This is about endurance. It's about being self-sufficient.
Yeah.
So moving from, say, Minnesota's woods up to the wilds of Alaska, what are the absolute must-knows to get ready for that kind of scale?
I think the key focus has to be managing risk, especially in those really isolated spots. We need to break down the logistics, things like fuel, how to navigate when your tech fails, and how to handle those crazy fast weather changes up north.
Okay, yeah, let's dig into that. Our mission for this deep dive is to give you the nitty-gritty details you need for prep. Not just generic stuff, but the specific, maybe even counterintuitive things that turn a potentially tough ride into, well, an amazing adventure. Right, logistics first. Because up there, messing up the planning phase, that's basically planning to fail, right? The distances alone just change everything. What's the #1 calculation for a northern tour?
Fuel. Definitely fuel capacity, but the real capacity you'll need, because their sources really stress this. Yeah, some main highways are okay, but get onto the more remote tracks. You could easily be looking at over 200 miles between reliable gas stops.
Wow.
Think about those big Alaska routes like the Dalton Highway. You should plan for a minimum 250-mile gap between fuel. Minimum.
And that's not just what your bike's specs say on paper, I imagine.
Not at all. You have to factor in stuff that eats fuel, headwinds, good climbs, maybe lower octane gas than you're used to. That can hit your efficiency. Our research suggests thinking about carrying maybe 50% more fuel capacity than your bike's standard range.
50%.
Yeah. Carrying spare fuel in proper containers, obviously. It's just non-negotiable if you're hitting the Yukon or northern BC, anywhere off the main paved routes.
And the tech side. That self-reliance means, okay, no cell signal. So offline maps are a must, obviously. But is that even enough when you're 300 miles out? What's the next level?
SATCOMs. It really shifts from being a nice-to-have to a need-to-have, a dedicated device, like a Garmin InReach or maybe even Starlink if you've got support. You need something reliable for emergencies or just checking in. If bad weather hits or you break down, you just can't count on normal phones.
Okay, SATCOMs. Makes sense. And speaking of weather, that's the next big thing, right? The climate endurance. You've got to be ready for literally anything, sometimes all in one day.
That's the big surprise, yeah. The sources really hammered this. Northern weather, it doesn't transition slowly, it just flips. You could leave in sunshine and be riding through sleet by the afternoon. It's not just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. Hypothermia is a real risk if you're caught out.
So gear. Let's get specific. Beyond just layers and waterproof, what are we talking technically for survival?
You need good quality stuff. Minimum 3-season Gore-Tex or something equivalent. Your layers need to be right too. A solid thermal base layer, wool or synthetic, and a good insulating mid-layer.
Why so specific on the layers?
Because the temperature swings are huge, 30, even 40 degrees Fahrenheit between day and night, even in summer. You need to be able to add or remove layers easily without compromising the waterproofing. And yeah, heated grips, a heated jacket liner, those can be an absolute lifesaver, seriously.
Yeah. And before we move off logistics, we have to talk about the bugs. The tiny, annoying reality.
Oh, the mosquitoes. Legendary. They don't just bite, they swarm you. You need strong, repellent, high DEET stuff. And the golden rule, keep your helmet visor down whenever you stop. Fueling up, stretching, keep it closed. Otherwise, yeah, you'll be swatting and spitting the whole time. Okay, so you're geared up, you've got fuel sorted. The next big mental shift is awareness, wildlife, and the road itself. This is where the North really shows its teeth.
The wildlife thing sounds intense. Moose, deer, bears. Just wandering onto the road, we know to be alert, but hitting a moose. Why is that so much worse than hitting, say, a deer?
It's just physics, really. Deer are lower. Impact is often at wheel level, maybe causes a slide, a crash. Bad, obviously. But a moose, they've got those incredibly long legs, so the impact point is often higher, like above your headlight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which means the main body mass, hundreds and hundreds of pounds, comes right at you, the rider, over the handlebars.
Yeah, catastrophic. Really highlights why dawn and dusk, when they're moving those, requires maximum alertness. It's not optional.
Not at all. Life-saving, literally. Now, the roads themselves, if you're expecting smooth interstate the whole way, think again. The climate is tough on roads up there, lots of hazards.
The sources mentioned frost heaves. What exactly are those, and how do they mess with a loaded bike?
Frost heaves, yeah. They're bumps or ridges in the pavement. The ground freezes, expands, pushes the road up. They aren't like potholes going down, they're sharp bumps up. They can really unsettle a bike, especially a heavy touring bike. Very sudden.
Okay, so what do? Adjust suspension?
Definitely. If you're loaded up, you'll want to bump up your rear suspension preload a bit. Helps prevent bottoming out. And just slow down. Hitting a big heave too fast can launch you or wreck your bike. Speed management is critical.
And it's not just pavement problems, right? There's gravel, construction.
Right, and dust control. Lots of roads, especially in Canada, use calcium chloride for dust. When that stuff gets wet, it turns incredibly slick, like riding on oily mud. And it gets everywhere. Gums up your chain, brakes, kills your grip. See wet dust or orange construction signs? Slow way down, assume zero traction.
And a final road reality check. No guardrails.
Often, yeah. Especially where the terrain drops away sharply. You are totally responsible for your own safety margin. There's no barrier to catch you. It really drives home that self-reliance aspect, doesn't it? But getting through it safely is part of the reward.
Okay, let's talk timing. Because you can't just go whenever. That riding window up north is short. Timing is everything.
It really is. The reliable window is pretty much late May through early September. The sources strongly warn against going earlier, like before mid-June. You could hit black ice, snow still on the ground, and just bone-chilling cold that'll overwhelm you if you're not ready.
And for the really northern bits, Alaska, the Yukon.
Yeah.
When's the sweet spot? For decent weather and all that daylight.
June and July. That's prime time. You get the midnight sun, best chance of clear skies, great visibility for wildlife. But don't push it too late. When September hits, things shut down fast. Those little lodges, gas stations, campgrounds out in the middle of nowhere. Many will be closed for the winter already. You can't afford to be flexible on timing them.
It sounds like the reward for all that intense prep is, well, pretty profound. Just miles of quiet road, no phone buzzing, just you, the bike, the wind, the wilderness. The ultimate mental reset.
It really is. And to find that reset, riders often aim for some iconic roads. We should probably run through a quick list, maybe the key thing to know for each.
Good idea. Let's start near Minnesota. Highway 61, the North Shore Scenic Drive.
Right. Classic ride along Lake Superior. Beautiful cliffs, some Dillon history. But watch out for that lake fog. It can roll in fast anytime, and the temperature plummets instantly when it does.
Okay. Up into Canada. The Icefields Parkway in Alberta.
It's just stunning. Glaciers, those crazy turquoise lakes, great curves. But you have to stop at the overlooks. And be ready for the temperature to drop noticeably, even midday, as you get close to the big ice fields.
And for that really raw, wild feeling.
Yeah.
The Cassiar Highway in BC.
Yeah, that's wild, all right. Remote, often rougher than the main Alaska highway. This is where you need peak vigilance on fuel and supplies. Seriously, treat every potential stop like it might be your last chance for hours.
And the big one, the ultimate challenge for many. Alaska's Dalton Highway.
Haul Road to the Arctic Circle. Look, we have to be blunt. This road is mostly for big trucks servicing the oil fields. It is absolutely not for casual riders or beginners. You need tough, knobby tires, serious protection for your engine and lights from flying rocks, and you need to be totally prepared for long stretches of deep gravel, mud, and massive industrial traffic that doesn't slow down for much.
Got it. Definitely expert level. So, pulling it all together, riding northern North America, it's fundamentally about achieving that self-reliance. It means prepping the bike meticulously, getting the right gear, but also prepping your mindset for serious endurance. The work starts long before you hit the road.
Yeah, the bottom line from everything we looked at is the North tests more than just your motorcycle. It tests you, your spirit. The roads are longer, the service is fewer, the landscape's just immense. But if you prepare smart, ride aware. That journey shows you what you and your bike are truly capable of. It's about endurance, but also about just awe.
We talked a lot about needing that intense self-sufficiency, almost a solitary focus out there. But think about this. How does that very demand for self-reliance somehow forge a stronger, faster connection with a few other riders you meet, compared to maybe more casual touring elsewhere? Something to ponder while you're checking that packing list one last time.